welcome back everybody, this is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue our journey to complete the Maimed Saga. Now, if you recall from our last episode, we were downstairs, open up the map, bashed into the Maimed God. So it sounds like we're getting close. We just basically snuck in, hence the sewer entrance. And we have, looks like a platform in front of us. And if I'm not mistaken, we had an issue where, a glitch, if you will, that resolved itself. Where I had spells all of like the briefest of seconds as we walked into the room.
Follow me!
For our clerics, and then as soon as we got inside the room, they went away. So we're back to being normal fighter mode, so to speak. All you see, we have some stuff, and she has the torch, so she needs to get her butt up here. Ooh, I got a shovel. Appears to be a standard shovel, though the metal is badly rusted and the wooden handle is moldy and warped.
I cannot travel quickly carrying all this.
Really, you big pansy? The heck? Oh, yeah. I forgot about all that crap. That'll be fine. Here, pass off, that. There we go. So we got a door, another door, looks like a cell. Wow. I'm gonna go this way. There's stuff over here. Is that a rack? That looks like a rack. It is a rack, folks. Oh boy. I do apologize for not putting up my video sooner. For the past few weeks I've been helping my father move. And I've been doing that on the weekends, so I'm actually doing my best to try to catch up with the Maimed Saga. See, the rack, a gruesome torture device able to dislocate its victim's limbs, causing excruciating pain, is now unusable, though there is a single rope left already looped so as to allow the insertion of a wrist. Take the rope. Alright, so we got a rope and we got a shovel. And apparently a noose. Oh, that's morbid. Yep, that's definitely a noose. Gross. So this must be the torture chambers. The beheading or stockade? Ah, stockade. Boy, do we miss those days, huh? Let's see what's in here.
Yes.
I hear noise. Why do I hear noise? Oh, I see it. Giant wolf spider. Alright, let's get her a little buffed up here with some bark skin. There we go.
Here I come!
Where are you running to, you coward? Get back to work. Alright, I lost all my cool stuff. Divine Knights. Boy, were those handy.
Time to...
Choppy chop chop. Get it. Get it. Come on, get him before he gets us. Oh, close to hit. I did get the poison there. Yeah, my team kicks some ass. Alright. We're doing pretty good for some XP here, too. Like I said, it looks like we're getting close. I mean, it feels like we're getting close. Maybe I'm wrong. Got some debris of here. Vial of acid. Could come in handy. Not sure how. Take a look at that. An acid flask. This liquid in the vial bubbles, gurgles, and pops. Okay, so it must be a used item. Probably like the shovel and the rope. Where you need one or more to get inside here, I'm guessing. Yeah, that makes sense. Unlocking. Chances are I won't be able to pick it. Oh, here we go. This heavy oaken door is reinforced by steel bands and firmly locked. Through a small barred window set 5 feet up, you can see glimmering torchlight from the room beyond. Okay, so we got a listen check. Look through the window into the room beyond. If we look through, we could actually expose ourselves, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Apply acid to the door's bolt. Use the shovel as a lever to force the door open. Try to bash the door open. Open lock, try to pick the lock. Okay, let's try listening first. Try to hear the happenings in the room beyond. Failure. Fortunately, you aren't able to hear anything save the squeaking of rats. Yeah, we had a... Oh, look how close we were, though. Oh, boo. Let's look through the window. You know that the room beyond is actually a passageway that extends to your left. To the right is a door framed by 2 torches. The flickering shells reveal else other than stout stone walls. Try to pick the lock. Failure. The lock proves too complex for you. I'm going to use acid. And I'd like to use the shovel, but I'm afraid that if I use the shovel, it makes so much noise that if there's somebody in the other room, it we couldn't hear that will alert them to our attention. So apply acid to the door's bolt. You gently siphon the acid into the crack between the door so that it falls onto the bolt. Instantly, the acid crackles and hisses. The bolt begins to drip away. Within moments, the door's lock has been destroyed. Leave the door alone. So we got a door. Come on here, kid. Ooh.
I cannot travel quickly carrying all
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Passing guard's armor versus breastplate. 5-3 versus 3-5, yeah. But this could be camouflage.
Yes.
For all we know. So let's do this.
Yes.
See if we can actually. Ooh, let's look at the vial of acid in the rope bag ass. Here, carry this great sword, will you? And these flails. Okay, there we go. Distribute
Listening.
a little bit. Convenient.
You have need of me?
Alright. Now that we're in the proper attire, maybe we can sneak on through here without anybody getting wise to our tricks. Oops, I'm in missing doors here. Is there any reason to even go in here, though? Doesn't appear to be. Boop. Boop. Well, we see a couple of guards. So far they are neutral to us. I wonder if we get a bluff check. What is my skills for bluff? Oh, 1.
Yes.
1.
Yes.
Not the best. Hey, fellas. What? Whoa, hold it there. When did you two get down there? Did you see them pass by earlier, Bertram? Of course I did. They didn't pass by earlier. How'd they get down there? Should be drinking less, man. Eagle eye am on the watch down here. Verona tosses a glance your way. Two gazes meet and you somehow understand that she wants you to stay in the shadows, thereby obscuring the mark on your forehead. She then steps forward and clears her throat. Hey boys, must be highly offended you didn't notice me. I can guarantee I sure noticed you. And you! She smiles, giggles, and playfully and tosses her hair, really laying it on thick so that you are sure that no one can possibly fall for the act. He blushes. Of course, I didn't miss you. How could I? No, I'm sorry, but this little weasel was just going to check on, the cistern, weren't you, boy? No? Giggle. Oh, you two really are witty, aren't you? Well, people have said, mumble, mumble. Giggle, and loquacious, too. I'll tell you what. Why don't I go get rid of my friend here? Then I'll grab a bottle of wine, and the three of us can, oh, we have wine here, Miss Wine, here. She winks conspiratorially at them and leans close. Let me get rid of my friend. He's such a killjoy. Then I'll come back and, well, you think of something to do. Yeah, get rid of him. I'll be right back. She turns to you, rolls her eyes, and motions to the stairs. You're coming back, right? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you wait for me here, right? Yeah, that's cool. I'm not going to tease her about that because you just ate her ass. Oh, man, I'm going to say I am so embarrassed for my gender. You can't say I blame you. It really is too easy sometimes. Let's get out of here before they figure it all out. Alright, where are we going? We're going this way. Hiding in the shadows so you can't see my forehead. Da 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 da. Dumbasses. And up we go. That was way too easy. That worked well. Go team. Alright, sounds like we're in the upper sanctums. I hear holy praying. What does that map look like? Ooh, my. Pause that for a second. Alright, we're coming into a big hogging room here. Massive hall and a little room off to the side. I don't know if those are the cells downstairs. I do have a scroll, it appears. Sound burst that comes in handy. I need to put some whooping on peeps. Alright, we are here. Aha. Oh yeah, here. Beastier here. Oh, we got druids perhaps. You got like a little herbal garden inside. Oh, and a foot locker. The recipe for the holy days. No. What's the recipe for the holy days? Let's take a look at that. This book contains suitable recipes to be cooked on all Tyrian holy days. It is a voluminous tome as Tyr's calendar is full indeed. Go Tyr! Party every day of the week is what I say. Alright, looks like we're going this way now. I found me a wardrobe. Paladin helmet. Oh,
I
helmet.
cannot travel quickly carrying all this.
Badass. Give me my helmet. Yep. Chain gloves. Which are cooler than the leather gloves. Noble Guardsman tunic. Oh, what does that look like? Oh, now that's badass. Oh, I wish I had that as a magical armor. How kicking is that, guys? It's got the Neverwinter logo and everything. Oh, that's so cool. Right, but I'm not wearing that because that's just stupid. Might as well be Bastion guards. I'll pass it off to her.
Everyone
What she
follow
looks like with that on. Pretty cute, I'd say.
You have need
She'll
of me?
hold it for us. We are not overweight, are we? No. You're invading everybody's privacy. Copper necklace, I'll take that. And some leather booties.
Listening.
She does. Oh, she needs some clothes on. Yay. Not that it matters, I know. I just am a stickler for having clothes on. I see. Oh, we got a hallway. Door. Alright, well, let's see here. Based on where I'm facing, this door will take us there, straight ahead, to the left. I say to the left, yeah? That's the hidden room. Yeah, nice. Cleric's robe.
I cannot travel quickly carrying
Oh,
all
you
this.
big pansy, it's just some clothes. Yeah, all these clothes that we need. And, every dagger I own. I don't remember where the heck I got all these damn daggers. But, whatever. What we got in here? Ooh, a book to read. La-di-da. It's because the record of the official church functions. Needless to say, the election of the High Prelate is the subject of the open page, and it's obvious that the record has been updated by the scribes as rounds of the current election have progressed. That's right, there was an election. Ooh. The explanation of the rules of the election. The election will progress as follows. Nominations will be read aloud, and each nominee will be permitted to speak for 5 minutes. Then an anonymous ballot by all electors will be cast. If no candidate receives the majority of votes, the lowest vote getter will be eliminated, and the process will be repeated until one candidate receives the majority of votes cast for that round. Alright, read the nominations. At the start of the Great Synod, each elector may anonymously nominate up to 3 people for Grand Prelate. Any member of the clergy older than 35 years of age who has more than 15 years of service to the church and has achieved the rank of cardinal or higher is eligible. Any eligible member who appears on more than 10% of the anonymous ballots is officially nominated for the office of Grand Prelate. Nominees for the Great Synod of TYR 1374 are Lord Bergeron of Paladinson, Waterdeep Lord Halloran de Lentir, Waterdeep Lord Fangar the Bold of Yartar, Lady Hiathu Windsong of Sycomer, Priest Ilariel Alamander of Luskin. Read the results of the first round of balloting. Okay, we got a 23, 27, 12, 16, 7. The majority of the vote, no. The majority of the vote would be much bigger than that. What is that, like 40, 50, 62, 72, 78, 85. So ain't no one got 40, what was it, 43 they would need? So, they're getting rid of Yulario Alamander. Yeah. The second round. 34, 32, 10, and 9. Sounds like one of these two are going to be the choice. And again, did not get the majority of the vote. So, Hiathu Windsong has been removed. Third round balloting. Again, these two, but no one still has a majority vote. Fang out of the bowl is going to be eliminated. And fourth round. Oh, here we go. Page of Plank. It looks as if the fourth round results are still pending. Okay. Look at that third round again. Pure Gurion, Paladin Sun is pretty much the choice. You don't know who these 13 could go to, so we could have Halloran. Look alone. Well, alright. Okay, so we have... hallway. I don't know if it matters which one we walk into. Oh, I see a body out in the hallway, though, so let's see if we can't sneak out this way. And we do have our cool garb on, so maybe we'll get lucky and they don't notice us. What the heck is going on down that way? Oh, I want to go over here. There's our main god. Missing his hand and everything. It's like they blessed this book or something. Chanted in a way where I'm not allowed in. Very cool room. I do like that look. Boy, that'd make a cool spell look too. That would make a really nice magic circle against alignment, I think. But, oh well. Looks like we are trapped here. And we're gonna there. How are we getting here? Oh, through that door, apparently. Hold there. This area is off limits until the conclusion of the election. You should not have left your post, soldier. Explain yourself. Calm down, Averia. Vespasia of Valenford. This is hardly a crisis that should interrupt the proceedings. But, milady, you said... I know what I said, but now I'm saying something different. Why don't you check the perimeter? I can handle this. She looks at you with suspicion, but only nods in response. Yes, ma'am. Now, you bear the armor of Tyr. That scar on your forehead marks you as a heretic and excommunicate, and word around the bastion pegs you as a threefold murderer. She closed her eyes for a second, her brow furrowed, slowly she shakes her head. And yet, I sense no evil from you. Your soul does not seem worthy of the judgment placed upon it. You can sense evil motives in others, and that makes you a paladin. I am the Lady Vespasia of Valenford, paladin and captain of the Order of the Garnet Rose in the service of Tyr, at your service. Pleased to meet you. You, on the other hand, are Nico Ogden, and your name, Ranger, is Verona. So, Nico, you present me with a bit of a problem, enigma that you are. Why are you here? I have come seeking answers myself. Her eyebrows arch. The entire leadership for the northern half of the Sword Coast and many from beyond is in the room. Beyond that door, what you seek is almost certainly within, but I have been instructed to allow no interruptions to the proceedings. What can I do to convince you to let me inside? Relax, you don't need to. I feel compelled to aid you. I have the uneasy feeling that forces larger than even those assembled here are at play. Thank you. Don't mention it this way. Well, alright. Time for their comeuppance. Opens the door. There you go. Good luck. Oh, fade to black. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies of the electorate, the fourth ballot has produced a majority. I present to you all, the first time as Grand Prelate of the Church of Tyr, Lord Halloran Deslintyr. He was not the one that was in the lead. It was the other guy that was in the lead. Right? Thank you all, and to great Tyr, and those in whose name I ascend to the leadership of the Church. The responsibility for the souls of every believer in Faerun is a great one, but I shall endeavor to safeguard them all from those who would do them harm. This is the guy we hate. But neither shall I ignore here and now. Bandits plague our highways. Orc tribes encroach from the east, threatening Daggerford and the peaceful villages of the southern ways. Under my leadership, the Tyrian orders of paladins will advance and destroy each of these threats in turn. I shall enlarge the bastion of the main god, for this cathedral is a symbol of Tyr here on Faerun. It is only right that his temporal house be the greatest in all the realms, for a soaring skyline will elevate the eyes of the believers, and their souls will follow. In fact, I vow that there shall not be a city on the entire Sword Coast in which the Cathedral of Tyr is not the tallest and grandest. Let everyone know the power and glory of Tyr. Let Faerun take note that our great church is awakening. Suddenly, yet purposefully, his gaze turns to meet yours, his eyes peek up from a melon throne. In the room. The heretic! How did he get in here? Crowd gasps and you find yourself surrounded by armed soldiers almost before you can move. So, you thought to ruin the day, or was it something even more nefarious? Perhaps you sought to interfere in the election, or even to assassinate the new prelate. You almost listened to me. The church has been infiltrated by Malar. Oh, no, I like this one. So are you going to torture me again, Grand Prelate? Bet you they don't like this. Lords and ladies, this man is a confirmed heretic, already judged guilty for the murder of 2 guards and a Tyrian priest. He has been condemned to death. Guards, take him out back and execute him. Just a minute, Grand Prelate. But what body judged him guilty of these crimes? Do you doubt me, Lord Giron? Do I make a habit of lying? Well, that's the guy that should have won. Oop, pause it. No, but if we are to watch this man be executed before us, it would seem to be incumbent upon us all to ensure that proper procedure has been followed. The Council of the Inquisition of the Cathedral of Waterdeep held the trial, and I am pronounced sentence based on their findings, as is my right as Grand Prelate. Everything is in order. Guards, proceed. Hold. When you pronounce sentence, you are not Grand Prelate. He turns on his second man, the one he called Lord Pergeron. Anger visible in his eyes even from here. Well, I am Grand Prelate now. If you need the protocols followed to the letter, then I pronounce sentence now. That man will be executed at once. But you are now only Grand Prelate elect. You have not been coronated. I'm beginning to think you have a problem accepting my authority, Lord Pergeron. Not at all, but despite your recent elevation, you are not a monarch. Even you must answer to the assembled wisdom of the council, not to mention a higher authority still. The law applies to all, regardless of station. I like this guy. Everyone calm down. The Grand Prelate elect is right that the heretic has been tried in absentia for the aforementioned crimes, and the proclamation of guilt seems to be in order. The Lord Peregrine is also right in noting that we can wait until the coronation the day after next to make everything official. Fine, if it makes you feel better, we'll wait 2 days and then execute him. Mark my words, Peregrine, you will not be able to shield that murderer by quibbles and minutiae forever. It is not my intention to shield any murder at all. It is my intention that the law be followed in all cases. If we would execute him today, you can submit the case to the Judicial Council for review, or you can wait 2 days and sentence him yourself. No, this case is so obvious that it would be a waste of the Judicial Council's time. 2 days it is, then. Just a moment. My, client exercises the right to Tyr's justice. What the hell is Tyr's justice? Oops. Lord Deslantier looks at Verona in momentary stunned silence. Oh, excellent. Nico Ogden's accomplice in the wretched crimes in Waterdeep has also come. Well, we can execute 2 criminals in 1 day. Whatever you do to me, he is a priest of the church and therefore has a right to request judgment from Tyr alone. Okay, how the hell does that work? Trial by Tyr's justice? Don't be absurd. That custom is centuries old now. It is technically still on the books, is it not? She's right. It is. That may be, but it's only claimable by a priest in the church. He is an excommunicant and cannot rightfully claim that protection. Who authored the writ of excommunication? I did, as is my right as, his voice fades in realization, Grand Prelate. But as the leader of the Church of Waterdeep, I was always able to exercise excommunicatory powers under extreme circumstances. What extreme circumstances were those that you could not get a consenting opinion? Indeed, I've been in Waterdeep for several 10 days, and yet no one asked me. It seems clear that we should at least verify that excommunication is valid. We can certainly do so, but in the meantime, he has claimed the right under the ancient Codex Judicius. The trial by Tyr. Well, his friend did. I assume he agrees in calling for the measure. It is either that or accept the verdict of his trial and die in 2 days. Not much of a choice. All eyes turn to you. Given that dire choice of yours, of course I agree. Even if he's allowed the trial, his friend is not. The ranger is the accomplice in the murders and must also be executed. Yes, that is clear enough at least. In 2 days' time, you may sign her warrant. Guards, take her to the dungeon. Nico, listen to me. Stay alive somehow, any way you can. Then find allies on the outside, for there are none here. So with everything now in order, there is no reason not to begin. We will need to assemble the expedition to take him to the peaks. Okay. The captain of my guard, Sir Etten Scott. Oh, this prick. Will lead the expedition. Sir Etten, assemble the cadre of silver scales. If you don't mind, I would rather the Lady Vespasia of the Garnet Rose lead the expedition. As would I. In fact, I do mind, Lord Peregrine, and I get the impression you are impugning my guard captain's honor or capabilities. Not at all. I was going to suggest that Sir Etten's attention is better allocated to the highwaymen now plaguing the northern roads around Waterdeep. That is his territory, is it not? Your suggestion has been reviewed and rejected. Sir Etten is better utilized escorting the heretic to his test. The Lady Vespasia can go hunt highwaymen. Is there any issue with them both going? I can handle the expedition myself. I'm sure you can, but Lady Vespasia has some experience in those mountains. Even so, look, everyone will be satisfied if they both go. But the highwayman Lord Peregrine mentioned, obviously he is greatly concerned if he sends away his own legions. I am. In fact, as you have allowed your captain to shirk his duty, I shall lead the expedition against the highwaymen myself. He just bitch slapped him right in the face. That's awesome. Sir Etten Sky steps forward in a huff, but several others hold him back or step to bar his way. Come at me, bro. Come at me. Nothing, you loser. Lord Deslantier flashes a look of venom at the second man, who only smiles faintly, as if he's enjoying the exchange. The response does nothing but infuriate Deslantier. Yeah. I would have thought that one with such a reputation of piety as you have, Lord Peregrine, would have wanted to make your new Grand Prelate's job as easy as possible. And I would have thought that one with the reputation of wisdom such as you possess would see that I seek only to avoid beginning the new prelacy amidst a flurry of procedural mistakes, ones that would forever mar the glory of your reign. The prick move. I love it. I would welcome the company of the Lady Vespasia and her paladins of the Order of the Garnet Rose. The more the merrier. Spot pass. You catch a knowing look that passes between Deslantier and Sky, one that bodes only ill for you. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. Then it is settled. Prepare the group for the expedition. The accused, the Silver Scales, and the Garnet Roses. Come on, Garnet Roses, I hope you guys can fight. So let it be done, and may the truth of Tyr shine on these proceedings and his verdict be upheld by all. Yay. Okay, taking me to the mountains. That don't sound good. What are we doing in the mountain? Huh. Tears of Justice. Why does that sound familiar? I think this should be high enough for the trial. All that is left is for you to give us your cloak. Yeah, I don't want to do my cloak. It's cold. Why? As you know, you are allowed nothing during the trial. If you are innocent, Tyr will protect you from both the elements and the predators. The cloak, please. Here, take it. Thank you, and may Tyr judge you. May Tyr judge you truly. Now, soldiers, we need to get out of here and let the trial proceed. Does everyone still have their rings? Nods. Yes. Aye. Good. Then everyone activate at once. Wonder Twin Powers. Activate. I'm just kidding. For those of you old enough to remember that joke, I hope you all laughed real hard. He stayed behind, Sir Etten Sky, you piece of dog poo. How unfortunate. My transport seems to have had a delay built in. What's your game, Sky? You didn't think we'd chance this, did you? No, I'm afraid we need to be sure of the result. You'd actually attack an unarmed man? No, give me a weapon and I'll fight you. I don't think so. The ends are simply too important for me to risk a fair fight. Now, I really need to conclude this before others become too suspicious. Now let's fight. I'm still not defenseless. No, I'm gonna ask for aid. Tyr, if you're out there, I need your aid. And nothing. Gee, I guess he's got better things to do. Who knows? Perhaps this would have worked out for the best anyway. But I'm all about minimizing risks, especially when so much is on the line. Pulls forth a bomb, throws it down on the ground as the glass breaks. Releases a burst of raw power. Will save failed. It's like your body goes numb and you find yourself unable to move. Bastard paralyzed me so he could stab me. Die, you bastard. Oh, bleeding my guts all over the ground. There, that should do it. The trial is done and the proper result assured. Good luck in whichever of the hells awaits you. Continue. Wow, that was amazing. Here is our freaking death, people. Let's look at her dead body. That's amazing. So basically, even without this, what was the judgment of Tyr? Strip you naked and leave you on the top of a high mountain. And he'll protect you if you... it's like witch trials level of crap right there. You know, if we put you in the dunking tank and you float, you're a witch. If you submerge and drown, then you were actually innocent and everything's fine, even though you're dead. But if you survive because you floated and you're an evil witch, we'll burn you at the stake. Anyway, even though you cannot move, you feel your very life drain away as your blood flows out, staining the snow red. It isn't long before everything fades to black. Well, if this is the end, I'm quite pissed, because I don't think I had an option to save myself. Whoops, what? We got people. Someone gonna save me? Okay, come out. I know you're here. There's no way you'd miss this. Gee, you must be psychic. Or was it just a lucky guess? He's psychic. Neither. I knew you'd want to see how it ended. True, and so it has come to its sordid end. He died with a whimper here on a nigh unreachable mountain. Soon he will be covered by snow and history will forget him. Ah well, such is the nature of our game. Who are these guys? It is not a game. He lost his life. Oops. How dramatic. Life and death are games, though both are more fun when a bit more blood is involved. Still, his death is strangely satisfying as it is. Having meddled in my affairs so much, I'm glad that obscurity is to be his reward. You could do such good, and yet you choose instead to do such evil? Good and evil are primitive constructs invented by limited minds. I am disappointed yet not surprised you do not understand this. I do not understand it because such arguments are specious twaddle. They are clearly actions that are to the detriment of mankind and others that are to its benefit. What the hell? Who are these guys? Yes, but why do you assume the former to be evil? Mankind, its urban sprawl, so-called civilization, they destroy all that they touch. Where once there was nature, beautiful in its wild cat. It's Malar. Oh, dude, these are the gods fighting over my soul. Where once there was nature, beautiful in its wild, chaotic ferocity. Yeah, he's Malar. Now there is nothing but deforestation, mining, the confining trappings of the civilized. If that is good, then yes, I am evil. But consider that if such civilization were the natural state, then Lord Owl would have willed it as such when the multiverse was created. It is only your own supreme arrogance that dictates the unnatural as the good. Pretty words shielding ugly lies. Yours is not the nature of peace and serenity. Rather, even with the nature you claim to defend, you bring nothing but chaos and destruction. What you strive to enact has not the slightest to do with the multiverse as Lord Owl willed it. This has got to be my god patron here, right? It's got to be Tyr. Lord Owl willed peace and serenity. Really? You act as though you have never seen the plains. Let's take your words as true, even though they are not. You still seek to eliminate that which cannot be eliminated. There are two sides to every coin. One side cannot exist without the other. In fact, neither side has meaning except by defining it in respect to the other. How could the side with a petty lord's head have meaning except as compared to the opposing side with no head? Just the same, how can light have meaning without the dark to contrast it to, or life without death, good without evil? Good without bad. Where have I heard this speech from? Oh, this is the, what's that speech? Nature without civilization. No, this part here, the good without evil. Those of you that flash back in your years, boy, this would have been like 40 years ago. There was a movie with George Burns. You should totally watch it. There's like a series of them. There's like 2 or 3 of them. Where George Burns plays God. I mean, like literally, he is the character. He is God. He's written in as to be God, and he plays it perfectly. But the best part was it was, "Oh God, you devil," was like the second or the third one, and he plays not only God, but he also plays the devil in the same movie. It was awesome. But there's a speech where he's talking to this little kid, a little girl, and she was asking him why he made the choice of good versus evil, or good versus bad, I think is what she said. And he sits there, he says, it's like a coin. How could you have wet without dry, a heads without a tails, and good without evil? You basically have to have both sides, otherwise what's the point? That's where the speech reminds me of. Anyway, sorry, I'm drifting off. Let's get back to it. It seems you have me there. I'll concede a score of 1 point for you then. Then you lack imagination. It is all faulty logic. It is possible for all to act for the betterment of the world. The whimsical chaos of the multiverse could serve as evil, enough to bind the peoples of Faerun to one united purpose. Okay, I like that argument better, especially as it then follows that, as chaos is the natural state of the multiverse, so must those who promote it be considered good. Yes, I'll take the previous point back and give it to me instead. Now, since you strive to impose evil law and good chaos, I beg you to refrain from your wicked ways. And he starts to laugh at me. Would that everyone did that what is obviously right, the world would be a better place. Yeah, that's right. Everyone just understood that I'm badass. Everything would be better. That's all I've always said. I see you are determined to be obtuse. I cannot claim to be surprised by this. He waves his hand dismissively. But enough. What of him? Nico, what about him? He has proven you wrong, has he not? I admit he has. The whole thing sickens me, to be honest. You were right. There is one who truly believes your drivel. And so our bargain, my church. Yes, I leave it to you. Truth to tell, I'll be glad to be rid of them all. Your followers are an awful lot of self-righteous gits. But they're my self-righteous gits. And now I tire this inane banter. Leave and never return here. You are no longer welcome. Gladly, you can have this Nico Ogden as well. But know this, he has caused me no little bit of trouble. Should I ever get my chance to revenge, you'll do nothing, for whenever you have cause to have dealings with him, then shall you also have dealings with me. See that you never have cause for either. Otherwise I'll kick your ass. Biatch. Oh, and Malar. Yes, Tyr. As you know, normally I shun deicide at all costs, but should you ever interfere in the internal workings of my church again, I shall make an exception in your case. You're gonna slaughter you. Be glad that we are now standing on your holy ground, and that we are far from mine. Were it not so, I might give you a chance to back your threat up. You are more scared to me than a breeze on a warm summer's day. But you have your lump of ground and your pathetic priests. I sicken of you both. Piss off, loser. Young man, old man. Nico, wake up. There's two of me. He split me in half. There you go. I know the snow is comfortable, but there's still work to do. Am I dead? Almost, but I rested the process before it was completed. Why don't we let your mortal coil rest up while we take a bit of a walk, eh? Oh, don't worry. I'll keep your body warm while we talk. It shall be ready when you again need it. Come. Oh, son. Well, alright. Because my God, you're badass. Let's stop here for a moment. There's something I want to show you, though it may take a few moments. In the meantime, I want to commend you for your steadfastness in resisting the overtures of the Black Boars and Waterdeep, despite the many pressures to give in. It often surprises mortals, but we gods are not infinite, nor are we omniscient. Our gazes are vast by moral standards, but finite. Unfortunately, this allows for some threats to arise without our knowledge. These past several years, my gaze has predominantly rested on Tether and several problem areas in the east, not to mention a rather distressing situation arising in another plane altogether. In my absence, it seems Malar has wrought a plot to wrest control of the Sword Coast from me. It was a plot his warped mind dreamed up over 2 centuries ago, but kept well hidden in a small isolated town until recently. At the exact time, my attention had been diverted. Most of the plans in Neverwinter we have already covered, but the true threat is far greater than anything that I had anticipated. As we now know, Malar has infiltrated the very highest levels of my clergy. The level of corruption within our ranks is alarming to say the least. The Order of the Garnet Rose has remained largely untouched, but I am not sure of more than a handful of the silver scales. I am sad to admit that my normally forgiving nature has been repeatedly abused. Malar has been one step ahead of me at every turn. Yeah, I hate when people freaking take advantage. That pisses me off too. You see, shortly after we squashed his claims and now we're trying to sue, he came to me with a wager that I could find not one righteous member of my clergy. I suggested you were such a man, but he scoffed that even you would not remain true to my principles if I removed the powers I had blessed you with. I foolishly accepted his challenge, but even this game was a ploy to keep me from guessing his real agenda. Even as he constantly shifted the rules of the wager on me, dragging negotiations on as you twisted in the winds here on the Prime, he had his agents in place, ready to elect one of his own to the ultimate position in my church. At long last, I guess his true intentions had called an end to the games. I thought our wager would cause Millar to go away peacefully once he was proven wrong. It was for this hope that I appeared to temporarily abandon you, and it was my naivete that caused your suffering. I offer my sincerest apologies for this, and I promise that it shall never happen again. No, he's not gonna leave me. Hey, oh, hey, is that Verona? Yeah, you can move here, kid. Ah, and there's what I was hoping to show you. This woman's life is seemingly one of flight and indecision, a natural result of a lifelong devotion to Mora, yet her purpose is clear enough to bring her here. Of course, though it is centuries since I last wrestled with mortal emotions, I think her new determination is driven by an emotion stronger than all the gods combined. Just an observation. Verona looks at the path before her and then at the path up the mountain, direction that directs her gaze through you. Though she doesn't seem to see you, there's clearly confusion in her eyes and a hint of something more. Worry, perhaps? I've been here before. Nature is too random, and yet nothing here has marked my passage. She spends a few minutes examining the surroundings, and you can see that despite the extreme cold, she has exerted herself so much that she must constantly wipe the sweat from her brow. She's busted hump trying to find me. Finally, she snaps at a nearby twig. Won't be long before I've marked every damn tree on this mountain. Oh, that's how she's keeping track of where she's been, I guess. Okay, onwards. When she is gone, Tyr points to the twig she had snapped, and it is instantly straightened and healed. Dude. So that it looks as though nothing had ever disturbed it. He then gently blows air from his mouth, causing the snow to blow over the tracks Verona had just made. Within seconds, the scene is as pristine as it ever was. Kind of a dick move, man. I apologize for having to play these games with her. She has already been wandering these mountains for days, but I simply cannot allow her to find you at the moment. That will come in due time. Now, where was we? Where were we? Where was we? Where were we? Ah, yes. The cleansing of the church. Now that Millar has ceased impersonating me, it should be a bit easier to root out those who have strayed. They will simply find that the divine powers they once had have now failed them. Your journal's been updated. Excommunicate. Oh, badass. In contrast with my contest with Millar now concluded, the divine powers that once failed you are now restored. Oops. And let's be rid of the lie as well. He places a finger to the scar on your forehead, and you instantly feel a cooling sensation. Within seconds, you can no longer feel the throbbing heat that was a constant reminder of the brand you bore. Oh, badass. He healed my wound. Now you need only return to the bastion, finish off the taint, and depose the imposter. Not quite yet. First, you have 2 tasks to achieve. Okay? Head south along the mountain ridge to what is called the Glade of the Miracle. There you will find that which you have earned. At the stone of the first descent, you will find a weapon that lacks only its champion, one I now bestow to you. Oh, bitch, I'm getting a weapon. Magic weapon. Your second task is more obscure, but no less important for the future. For the gods, as mortals often say, work in mysterious ways. At the Glade of the Miracle, in the Tomb of the Just Ones to be precise, you will give birth to my next great champion. You. I'm going to be forced to right out of my pee-pee hole? That's going to hurt, dude. Obviously, I don't mean that literally. Oh, okay. Well, then you're fine. It would be a bit impossible in your case. Yes, I'm about to say so, but you never know with gods. I mean, there's some weird bastards. But it is important you enter the situation with an open mind, so I will say no more in this regard. When you have accomplished both, only then will you be ready to return to the west. Me and Verona are going to hook up. Yeah. Get a little... 2 sexiest farm animals, everybody. Brown chicken, brown cow. He suddenly looks to the west, his eyes gazing far beyond his immediate surroundings. Finally, he shakes his head, a cloud forming over his features. They are still here, determined to interject themselves even in this. Ooh. Sir Etten Sky and his band of so-called paladins. It seems Etten is leaving absolutely nothing to chance, including your death. Even given his treachery, the band returns to verify your fate. turns to you, a wry smile on his face. I could, of course, simply bury them in the snow forever for their insolence, but you have suffered the most abuse at Sky's hands. You either have the honor of delivering the judgment. Is it my place to do so? I've given you that choice, so yes, if you desire it. Then yes. Then it is settled. He waves his hands in an arc. The wind's blowing. You could swear a gong sounds in the distance, but you can't imagine where from. I'll hold the group in a haze until you have retrieved the item I told you of. They will wander the mountains until you are ready. Oh, we're going to kick Serene,'s ass. I'm going to get my manual weapon and shove it up his a-hole. Now it is time for you to set off. When you've accomplished what you must in the glade of the miracle, then return to my bastion in the west. The usurper must be deposed, and you are the one chosen to do it. He shakes his head ruefully. This was too close. Just think, Malar even had the votes to elect one of his own to the premier position in my church. The culmination of Malar's plans and Navatron corresponded to his planned elevation of his agent in the west. When his vile strain of lycanthropy was at last released, he would have withdrawn his power from the interlopers at the exact moment they rode to meet the new challenge. My entire church would have been paralyzed, headed as it was by one of his own, Halloran Deslantier. And the downfall of Deslantier is a sad one for me. I have pity for him. I knew him not in his youth, but he was once a great champion for me. But fear and pride have been the downfall of many mortals. In time, these so consumed his vision that he lost sight of his true path. Doubt and greed, these calloused his heart so that there was no room left within for mercy, compassion, and justice. Perhaps he never realized how far he had fallen. Even as I withdrew my favor, Malar substituted his, and so he may have still thought he followed the true path, never realizing how corrupted his version of my ideals had become. Lord Deslantier comes from one of Waterdeep's most powerful families, is wealthy, and is well respected in the church. What could he fear or doubt? He stares at you silently, a momentary look of indecision evident in his face. Ulrich Van Gaunt, as you may already know, had two sons, Bale and Aeson. The elder, Bale, was briefly lord of Navatron before succumbing with his brother to the family's curse on the same night. Okay. The story as it is commonly told says that the two brothers saw the beast from their study and together led the town soldiers on a hunt to kill it. Along the way, the brothers were separated from the soldiers, never to be seen again. The first two victims of the curse. Yeah, I remember this. Only Aeson never succumbed to the curse. Oh. The two brothers did come upon beasts, but terror filled Aeson's heart at the sight. In a moment of weakness, he clubbed his brother from behind, sacrificing him to the werewolves so that he might escape. Oh, dude. Oh, balls, man. But so ashamed was he by his cowardly actions, and so afraid that he'd be found out, that he never returned to the town and instead fled west to Waterdeep. In fact, back to where his parents first met, where both were still remembered. When his identity became known, he was elevated by the city's elite circle in accord with his lordly name and his father's heroic deeds. Eventually, he married into a good family and had a daughter named Deloriel. Deloriel, in turn, grew up and married a man named Thurble Deslantier. Skip forward several generations and you arrive in Halloran, the descendant of Aeson Van Gaunt. You see, after Aeson's return from Navatron, word began to trickle in that he was thought dead by the villagers, and his actions on that fateful night were widely suspected, though only occasionally known. Since then, much effort has been made by the Deslantiers to expunge that from the histories, and the passage of centuries has made it easier to do so. Basically, he was ashamed of what had happened with his family. Oh man, that sucks. But the family never forgot their original shame, and Lord Halloran knew that those interested in advancing politically are the recipients of much undue attention and often draw the curiosity of those who seek to discredit them, even going so far as to dig through city archives for embarrassing minutiae. Dark secrets. Ooh, journal. If his secret ever got out, he must have believed that his so-called damn blood would have greatly damaged his political rise, and honestly, it may have. Mortals tend to care about such things even as I never would. I have little doubt that Halloran Deslantier believed he was in the right. After all, he would do great good with the church's resources, and so any actions he needed to take to achieve those aims was completely justified. The village needed to be sacrificed, if innocents needed to be tortured or killed to keep his secrets, well, that was all for the greater good. Such is the corrupting influence of Maud that such perversions should pass as dogma. And what of Eaton Sky? He scowls. Oh, why must you bring up that wretch again? While it is true that Eaton Sky was not born into the best of certain environments, that can only excuse so much. At some point, one must choose his or her own path. True that. Eaton Sky is this type of refuse that clings to the church only for the power it grants him. Under normal circumstances, he would have washed out a long ago. But in Malar's perverse world, even egomaniacal sycophants can't find ways to thrive. The truth is that he indulged his baser instincts in a bid for misguided revenge over a society that had done him wrong. He never had the courage to be as great as those he constantly sought to ingratiate himself to. I shan't miss him. Remain silent. Here's Verona. Verona, I'm right here. Look up this way. Ah, there we go again. Verona appears much more exhausted than before. Her breathing is noticeably more labored, and she grimaces every time she pulls a boot up from the snow, only to drop it calf deep on the next step. Yeah, boy, I've been in those damn snowfields before. Just as she did last time, the ranger takes a moment to examine her surroundings, peering down the path before her and then up again, up at the mountain before you. Okay, that's it. Either this is insane or I am. I know I've been here before. She goes over to examine the twig she broke last time, only to shake her head in frustration when she sees it is whole. Okay, I'm the insane one. I must be. Have I never been here? She looks around helplessly for a moment longer before collapsing into the snow, her fatigued body finally slumping over. What's the rush anyway, Verona? No one can survive out here this long without warm clothes. She was coming to give me some clothes. Just a minute now. What are you doing, you stupid girl? You said it was impossible to feel this way about someone. Now that you know that not to be true, you're not about to give up now. You find him, or die trying. Oh, I don't think you were supposed to hear that. This invisibility out-of-body deal may have been a bit unfair in the games of the heart. Flora looks at the two choices again. The one around the curve in front of her, and the second up the mountain's face. After a moment's indecision, she draws forth her pack of cards, shuffles them, and draws one. You cannot see the result, but she resolutely turns up the mountain and moves upwards with determination. Poor Verona. Oh, blast you, Timora. That wench. Timora said to me, didn't she? Oh well, it matters not anymore. I think we finished what we need to. Just remember my instructions. Go to the Glade of the Miracles first before you return to the bastion. His words fall away and your vision clouds with white. I just gained 1250 XP from all that. Boom! I raised me from the dead, buddy. You awaken surprisingly alert and pain-free. The wound Saratna put into your chest has been perfectly healed. The scar on your forehead is gone, and your divine powers have been fully restored. Pew! Hey. For the first time in a long time, you feel in perfect health. There you are. I've been looking for you for what seems like ages. Thank you, Timora. Wow, I thought you'd be on the verge of death, but you look like deep snow and frozen winds are like mother's milk to you. I wish I had skin that smooth. I'll be alright. Huh, I don't know by which of Lady Luck's wounds you survived, but let's not press our good fortune. We need to get off this mountain as soon as possible. First, we need to head south along the range. You can't be serious. Whatever for? Those are the instructions Tyr gave me. Was there any more specific information? Where exactly do you want to go? It's called the Glade of the Miracle. Fornelli nods her head in resignation. South it is then, and I sure hope you know what you're doing. Anyway, here, I brought this pack for you. It contains a few supplies until we can get you some better equipment. Let's get moving. How did you escape the bastion? Let's just say there were one or two guards that weren't convinced we were justly convicted, and were willing to help me. As it turns out, the church isn't completely corrupted. I'm just not sure how much is left. That's a conversation for later. Let's go. Well, alright, Verona. Well, that has been a long video. With that, my name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Sorry again, guys, for taking so long. So far, it looks like we're starting to pick up again, and I'm really starting to like the story now. Let's take a quick. Got my spells. My book. Yeah, my book. And I got my Divine Mics back. Okay. With that, my name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.